What is the worst part of modern Pokémon? I would argue that it's the community. Many people have seemingly decided that Pokémon games, among many games, have been on the decline since the mid-2010s, while others claim it's been a garbage heap since the turn of the millennium. Obviously this is completely subjective, but is it obvious, and what is subjectivity? Subjectivity is often thought as a personal and entirely internal concept. You have your opinions, and everyone else has their own unique opinions. But this would only be the case for someone living in complete isolation, or at least this is the concept of subjectivity that most social scientists believe in. Your subjective opinion will and should change with new information. This is where social proof comes in, also known as informational social influence or herd behavior. Basically, if someone is seen as a person of authority or social importance, in the case of the Pokemon community, this could be someone with a blue paid checkmark on Twitter or a high follower account on YouTube. It could also be someone more familiar, like a best friend or family member, who in turn may have either played the game and developed feelings and opinions themselves, or have heard from further up their own social influence chain. But you could say, well, I know the games are getting worse, they were excellent back in my childhood. Well, this is the perfect time to bring up Rosy Retrospection. You see, our brains are limited. Every memory that you can recall is physically connected through squishy things called neurons. If you started playing Pokemon around the age of 5 or 6, congratulations. Those associated memories are probably your first, thanks to childhood amnesia. And one possible explanation around this is that your brain just hasn't physically grown all the bits it needed to link things together yet. On the topic of Rosy Retrospection, there might be some evidence through research of a blue retrospection. And I kind of just like the idea of red and blue retrospections being paired. If you were in a bad mood or headspace when you played a game in the last couple of years, or even if you just didn't really gel with it, your brain is possibly also exaggerating the mild negative feelings into hatred or disgust. This could possibly line up with negative press and controversies leading to the launch of Generation 7's Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and Generation 8's Sword and Shield, for things like Ugly Tree and the National Dex being cut. The reminiscence bump is an upward spike on a graph showing where people typically find it easiest to recall memories. The spike is usually between ages 10 and 30, and it's usually seen with people above the ages of 40, but is also present in ages below. But it's typically harder to spot because of recency bias. Women tend to find it easier to recall their 20s more, and men tend to favour their 30s. This might not be a valid argument for the topic, but Pokemon fans who grew up with Generation 1 may be pushing past 40 at this point, and may reminisce on earlier games in the series as being good because they were novel and they had little to compare them to, whereas more recent games, they've kind of just got used to the idea. The reminiscence bump combined with Rosy Retrospection is likely to only bring forward good memories. Playing video games as a child is unlikely to be an unhappy memory unless it was being used as a means of escape. Anyway, that's all I really have to say on the matter. Most of this is just me rambling, but if you have any thoughts or critiques, please leave them below. Thank you.